YouTube! Almost said greetings. It is I, Sakaiman, coming to you with a little 1v1 action from total Brohammer here. I myself am head of the Tomb Kings against the Warriors of Chaos and Kofifi, everyone's favorite meme from a long time ago. So Kofifi was a very nice guy. We chatted a little bit before this game. He's a real sweetheart. He's a big fan, he said, so I always love playing fans. So yeah, this will be a good one though, and he was a very good player too. So it's always rough when you play a fan and you crush them. Doesn't happen often because I'm such a shit player. But when I do play well and I get lucky and I crush a guy and they're a fan, I feel kind of bad. But luckily this was a good little battle. So right away he forward deploys, he's gonna get some shots off. But we'll talk about the composition real quick before we go into that. So I brought a bunch of skeleton warriors. I brought 3 of them. And I brought a couple of spearmen, one of the King Hex. They're just such a good unit, especially if you're expecting like Kolak or something like that. I don't want to bring any constructs because, well, I mean, not too many constructs at least, just because I'm not the biggest fan of construct mash. So I brought Setra the Imperishable, I brought the Tomb Prince, and I did bring the Chosen of the God, just because Chaos is a very good faction. You gotta bring, you gotta bring the goodies if you want to beat Chaos. I brought a couple of Tomb Guard with halberds in the back line, alongside a Skeleton Archer, and then the Fucked Legion. Where's the Fucked Legion? The Blessed Legion of Fucked. My opponent, meanwhile, I have a Tomb Prince and, of course, Setra the Imperishable. I think I mentioned that before. And they're both just anti-large answers. Again, I'm afraid of Kolak. Everyone's afraid of Kolak. You should be afraid of Kolak because he is terrifying. And a Tomb Scorpion, which, of course, as I mentioned before, can hide. So this glowing blue robotic monstrosity is covered in runes and, just foaming at the mouth out of with magic is obstructed by this little shrub. Oh, can you not see him, guys? Wow, really well hidden. What great camouflage. I mean, just disappears, blends right into the environment. Actually, it does kind of blend into the environment. Anyways, and I have the Kepler Guard. Should mention these guys. Good little unit, all around, all-purpose unit with their healing, very, very formidable. So my opponent here has brought 4 Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. Is a good little move. He's brought a pretty weak front line as a result, though. He's put a lot of money into there. So a lot of Chaos Warriors, which are going to do well against Tomb Kings, because the Tomb Kings don't really have a lot of armor, especially on their infantry. He brought the Mirror Guard, interesting choice. I would think the Demon Spew would be better, especially for the price, but the Mirror Guard do have shields, so maybe that's the reason. But the Demon Spew are faster, and they do that little -5. I think the Demon Spew would have been a better pick. Chaos Warriors with Poison. He's brought the Summoners of Rage. Great pick, great unit. Probably the best unit on Chaos roster, in my opinion. Even better than regular Shagos. They're just so good. And they actually take, I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but they take such little damage from range attacks. Yeah, 25%, I don't get it. You're going to see the Chosen of the God are going to try and choose them and just does nothing. Oh, and of course you brought the Soul of Damnation. I don't think I've ever seen this unit brought in a ladder build or ladder army. So very, very cool. So thank you to Kofifi. We now know what Kofifi means. It means bring the Hellcannon. So let's get this game started. So there's a little bit of posturing here. I actually should have just played it while we were watching. He's going to try and circle me and try to find a good in with his Marauder Javelins, but of course I'm going to try and screen him out with my Spearmen, with my Swordsmen. And the reason I brought all these Swordsmen and Spearmen is to unlock the Ushop as quickly as possible. You want to bring Chaff just so they can die fast. So now I'm on this ridge. I do have a lot of Silver Shields. He is getting good damage on these guys, but I'm giving it back. Of course they will be healed as well, so it's not the end of the world. The Hellcannon just is so bad, especially when it has a bad angle like this, where it has to shoot up and down, like it's to shoot over a ridge. I mean, it's just so terrible. I mean, look at the accuracy on this thing, just awful. And this is the whatever it's called. This is the Regiment Around version, the one that should be hitting much better, but it's just unfortunately not getting the greatest hits. We are choosing some of these guys with the Chosen of the Gods, sending them to the afterlife with these cluster rocket bombs exploding in the air. Pretty cool. But yeah, so we're trying to screen these guys out. I don't mind having this little ridge. He is shooting at these Skeleton Warriors. I'm totally fine if they get hit. They'll die, no big deal, and they'll be healed up anyways. So he's just firing as fast as he can. He must be manually targeting. That's why it's firing so quickly. He must be doing the manual targeting and then firing right after, because normally they can't fire that quickly. He does have these guys way in the corner, but they don't really have a good place. Of course, I outrange them with my archers, and there's a lot of chaff here with silver shields that will just soak up those missiles. So my opponent starts to realize that he has to bring his infantry in, so he's going to start to do that. So we're going to just speed it up a little bit. I am trying to choose these guys with the Chosen of the Gods, and then here it is. So they're getting hit by the Chosen of the Gods, and it does almost nothing. I mean, this unit can wipe out demigryphs, unless they've been changed in the patch, but I've seen them wipe out demigryphs, and it does almost nothing to these guys. It did like 1,000 damage, I guess. It's 500, so it's, I mean, a lot, but still, I'm shooting down these Chaos Warhounds only because I'm afraid of them. I think they can get into my back line and do some serious damage to my Skeleton Archers, so I want them gone. Meanwhile, he is shooting down these skeleton archers with his cannons, finally getting some hits. It's a good little unit to shoot at. So is the Kepler Guard. So now he's actually getting some use out of it. I do have these swordsmen charging in. Just again taking up some shots. I'm more than happy for them to waste their ammo on these swordsmen, and of course I'm getting some shots with my archers as well and killing them with each volley. He is bringing Sartharel the Everwatcher here, who I didn't mention. They just have my voice went all wonky there. He has Sartharel, and he does have Final Transmutation, which is a very, very scary ability against Tomb Kings. Probably the best ability to bring against them. So yeah, with Sartharel and the Summoners of Rage, it could be very, very bad for me if he gets a good cast of Final Transmutation. Over here, we've warded off his units pretty well. Again, that's a lot of spend. That's about 2,400 spend being wasted on a Skeleton Warrior, so I'm fine with that. His Hellcannon has again done almost nothing. A few shots here and there, but nothing great. I'm actually quite certain that came from those guys. He's going to get one hit on these dudes. It's going to miss. He tries to manually aim it, but okay, so we're going to get a nice charge here against Sartharel with these two anti-large units, but he does cast Final Transmutation. It just does so much damage. It's just so devastating. I don't want to say it's... I mean, it is OP. It is OP against certain factions. I mean, look how much damage that's doing, and he just has to cast it and run away. It does take, like, most of your magic, but half my health is gone off of one cast. We are trying to hunt him down, but I do see Summers of Rage in here, and I'm like, ooh, so let's get back. We do get a nice hit on him. I do cast a serious Vengeance, but it's not worth it at this point. So I bail. And of course, they will be healed. They're going to start being healed now. Oh, they are not healed by that spell. Huh, interesting. Or are they? Let's pause it. They do benefit from that heal. Do they not? Let's see. I would assume so. Shield Breaker, Unyielding Will, Crown of Nakara. No, I guess not. Do these guys have a tooltip? Let's see. Are they being healed? These guys heal anyways. Let's see here. Blessed Legion, they're at full health. Let's see. Yeah, so I guess it does not heal Lords. I did not know that. I thought it healed Lords. There's actually no way to heal Cetra and the Tomb Prince. Interesting to know. Unless it just doesn't show up. But yeah, I don't think he's going up, is he? 256. Yeah, he's not. So that's something I did not know. I just learned that now. So Lords can actually not be healed on the Tomb Kings. Very, very interesting. That's really useful to know, considering I sort of threw them away here a little bit. Very, very adventurous with my Lords. Over here, I've lost those spearmen. They're swordsmen, so they've killed them, so I sent the Tormguard with Hellbirds. Not a great move on my part. Probably should cut them here and sent off swordsmen somewhere, but what can you do? He is passing through trying to get to my archers, but I'm going to slow him down and then hit him with these Chosen of the Gods, who are, of course, good in melee. So yeah, between these units, they should make quick work of them, especially with the Kepler Guard in there helping out. He is going to try and get his Summers of Rage after my Tomb Scorpion, but I see this coming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send my Tomb Scorpion first of all against these Warhounds, and then I'm going to bless them with the Fuck Legion, and they're going to take a lot of damage. And of course they are being weakened by some spells, some witchcraft from the Tomb Kings. Over here we're again crushing these. We're crushing the Mirror Guard, and we're going to summon up these Ushapti to help deal with these Warhounds, and also of course get in and fight these Summoners of Rage. I cast his ability, which forces them into a rampage, and actually pulls them back against these spearmen, which is huge for me because it gives me time to reform my lines, get some good charges in with Cetra, and then of course whittle them down with the Fuck Legion. My opponent, I think his move right here would have been to, of course it's hard to say as you're microing, but his move would have been to take these guys and lock down my archers, because that would have been a huge get for him. Right now, yeah, he's killing some Tomb Guards, but not in a cost-efficient manner and not in a speedy manner. So he's a lot of resources here wasted on these guys who have silver shields. If he had split them up and been able to get my back line with them in melee, would have been much more beneficial to his to the cause. But yeah, we're doing some good damage to Summers of Rage, and once we take down them, there's not a whole lot they have against the Tomb Scorpion except for these guys. But even then, they have they're running low on armor. But yeah, so we're doing good damage to these Summers of Rage. We have some Ushapti in there, the summoned ones, so I don't mind. They're gonna die anyway, so I might as well put them against a unit they're not well suited to fight, but they will do some good damage to them. Meanwhile, his Chaos Warriors are crushing my infantry. Not crushing, they're turning well in my infantry, but over here you can see they're pretty poorly against the King the Hex Scorpion Legion, as you can expect. He gets another Final Transmutation to lead here. I don't know if that's overcast. I don't think it is, because it does not do nearly as much damage as the first time. So yeah, he overcasts Final Transmutation, but it's not enough to really do too much damage to what's his face, Cetra. So maybe he should have waited. We've noticed that before too, that the non-overcast version of Final Transmutation is quite weak. You're more often than not always better off doing the overcast version. He does get a nice charge again with these warriors, these poison, Chaos Warhounds of Poison. And they're doing good damage, and that is as you should be doing. I see this, and I send my Ushapti Chosen of the Gods back to try and, again, these are very good units in melee, so they're going to go back. These guys are terrified it off, and then routed and shattered. These guys are in there. The Sarthrel could probably take them, I would assume, considering their stats aren't super high, but he'll take some damage in the meantime, so it's maybe not the best trade for him. Over here, these guys are getting smoked, and as you've noticed, this Hellcannon's almost fired all its shots. I don't know how many kills it has, but 80 kills, it's pretty weak considering how expensive that unit is. Especially a lot of that is weak infantry, so finally getting a few kills here and there, but these guys' ammo is almost all used up. They have like what, 3 shots left, so yeah, the damage is done. Over here, we've been able to sort of soak up all their ammo, and these guys are coming in a little too late now. He's going to get a nice Summoner of Rage, Chain Lightning, but it will go into his units and unfortunately do a lot of damage to his Marauder Horsemen. And then, of course, these guys will be sent back due to the fire from these Blessed Legion, who are going to get... Oh my god, it comes right in front of them, kills a couple of units, and just, walks away. So it stopped to say hello and then left before it overstayed its welcome, so I got lucky there. Although, again, they're almost out of ammo, so it wouldn't have been the end of the world. But over here, you can see it's sort of... the battle's kind of turning in my favor now. It all came down to the fact that this Hellcannon was garbage. If my opponent had brought... Kovifi had brought... more infantry and just swarm me, I think it would have gone much more in his favor, especially with Final Transmutation, because if you link up Final Transmutation with the Summoners of Rage, that's going to be devastating to Tomb Kings. There's just not a whole lot they can do against that. Summoners of Rage are such a good unit, and of course, if the Tomb Kings try and go wide, their infantry is going to be very weak, especially things like Chaos Warriors, or more like Forsaken, actually. Forsaken will cut through a lot of the infantry. I'm just charging these guys in because they're dead anyways. Yeah, but Forsaken will just rip through Tomb King infantry. So yeah, I think Final Transmutation, Summoners of Rage, and a lot of Forsaken is the way to go against Tomb Kings. Of course, if Tomb Kings bring a lot of constructs, you'll want these guys, I guess, to help deal with them. But you'll find different ways. And of course, Sarthrel is a very, very good lord to deal with constructs. Can lower their armor. Pardon me. And of course, Kolek is no joke either. So he gets kind of janky in here. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get through and hit Sarthrel. I do get here, and then I'm going to come right in here and cast this curse, or whatever spell's called, do some good damage, and yeah, and hit this blob, and they're going to start terror routing and fleeing, and there's not a whole lot they can do. The Tomb Scorpion is very well suited for this fight. None of these units are armor piercing, and I do have the Kings of the Hex Scorpion Legion, who don't have the diamond. They are diamondless. They're going to come in, and they're going to get hit by this charge, but that's okay, because they're going to do a lot of damage. And then now that I have the support of the King of the Hex, I'm going to turn around and try and put some damage on Sarthrel. He's going to start casting spells, bringing down the magic, but we're able to dodge it, and yeah, just avoid it. At this point, guys, I have to take a shit, and the battle is going to go in my favor, so let's just speed it up. And see, yeah, watch the end here. So we actually smack him down, and we're just, doing a little Benny Hill thing, but yeah, there's not a lot they can do. I have too many units left, and the only thing he has left really is his Hellcannon and Soul of Damnation, and that will be it. And we're going to start chasing after him, but my opponent will realize that the battle has turned in my favor, and it's all over for him. So he will say GG. So GG to Kovifi. I asked him if he could cast this game. He told me that, yeah, sure, but he said he didn't play his best, and I think he did a good job. I honestly think that the Soul of Damnation was just garbage. Everything on my roster performed pretty much as you would expect. I should have sent the Swordsmen after these guys instead of the Halberds, but what can you do, because they all have silver shields. Other than that, I think I played pretty decently. I just waited out this fire, seeing that it was pretty inaccurate and doing almost nothing. But this is not a bad army. I do like this army a lot. Let's just see how much the Soul of Damnation costs. Actually, no, we won't, because I have to take a shit. Actually, no. Here we go. We're going to do it. We're going to push through. We're going to push through real quick. Go, 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 go. Will Sakarma shit his pants? We're going to find out right now. Soul of Damnation, 1500. So yeah, I just did not perform. It does have 40 ammunition, which is quite cool. Way more than that one, but yeah, not great. What's this? What's his special ability? Soul Devourer. Reload skill. It's Bobble. Alright, anyways, thanks guys for joining me. I'm going to go poop, and I'll see you around the bend.